Someone here likes Retinas, particularly the Retina IIa, and they've sent me 6 to service, which is probably considered a bit excessive, having 6. So I'll have to work my way through them. So first I'm just going to check them all over and see what sort of a state they're in. So I'll stack them away and we'll check them one at a time. Alright, let's look at the first one, see what we can see. Looks fairly complete from the outside, everything looks to be there. Big Zeiss bump there and one there. I may be able to peel that leather up and get those out. The front opens, that's always a bonus. Oh, focus is very, very stiff. I'll set the shutter speed to something vaguely useful. Let's 25th will do. I notice that the frame counter works and the shutter fires. I'm going to peer out the window. The rangefinder is fairly accurate by the looks of it, but quite foggy. Well, that one shouldn't be too hard, that looks quite good. What have we got for number 2? This one's a little bit different. It's in rougher state. See a bit of leather's missing off from around the front there. Leather's a bit more scuffed up on the body. We've got the same Zeiss bumps, but we've also got this exposure scale neatly sellotaped to the back. If I'm going to get the Zeiss bumps out, that's almost certainly going to be sacrificed, and we'll be back to the leather. We'll see how we go. On the base, Zeiss bumps, missing the rewind knob. However, it does open. Oh, I'm looking at the front surface of the lens, and you might not be able to see that, but it doesn't look very good. That may or may not clean off. It's got a bit of a pitted look to it. I'll know if when I have a closer look. Does it wind and fire? Oh, it winds, but the frame advance, the frame count is gone. It's set that to 25th. There's a bit of rock there in the air. That's the whole front there is loose. The struts are bad in the body, but the shutter does fire. Anything else of note? Oh, focus is extremely stiff. The accessory shoe has been thumped in. That'll need to be squared up. I'll look out the window and see what the rangefinder's doing. Oh, that's not good at all. Very foggy. It does work. It's a mile out of adjustment and very stiff. Alright, so that's a roughie. I might put that to the back of the line. That might be, it's almost bad enough to be considered parts. Number 3. Rewind knobs loose and flopping about on the shaft there. Otherwise, quite tidy. Does it open? It does. Focus, very stiff. The shutter is jammed open. And the whole front ring of that shutter is rotating. Now, there's something very odd going on there. That shouldn't be happening. Okay, so someone's been into that, put it back together wrong, I would say. We shall find out. Does it wind and fire? The advance feels quite rough. There's a rough patch to that. The frame counter works. The shutter doesn't release. Gave a very weak sound, and I suspect that it didn't actually cock correctly. Well, it wouldn't have done with the blades open. Alright, so that one. Oh, what's that like for the rangefinder? Oh, can hardly see out of that. Right, 4. What have we got? Fairly tidy. Leather's been lifted on the base there. There's something odd about that. Possibly it's just the screw from the hinge popping down. Big Zeiss bump on the back, complete on the top. Let's open the front. Oh, look at that. So the front door is off. That explains the bump there. That's the screw that should hold that hinge at the bottom. It's lost the screw at the top. It does wind, it does fire, and the frame counter works. Focus is so stiff it hardly wants to move at all. You won't bother forcing that. We'll see if we can get this thing closed again. So that was the 4th one. 5th, what's this like? Quite good Zeiss bumps there, a couple of Zeiss bumps there, none in the traditional place. That's interesting. Those ones are normally bumpy. It opens, the front surface of the lens looks really bad. Could just be dust, but I don't like the look of it. It does cock, the frame counter works, and the shutter set to 25th does work. So that's not a total loss. Focus is looser. Rangefinder extremely faint and foggy. Brings me to my last. What do we got here? It opens, but it doesn't really click neatly into place. No, struts are probably bent. Oh yeah, it's not good. Bent struts. Film advance jammed. Can't see through the viewfinder, it's so foggy. That's better. The focus ring had been turned slightly. It wasn't at infinity. That was jamming those struts from falling into place. At least that works. Focus is loose, dry. Certainly needs to be cleaned and lubricated. Very foggy finder. It does wind, it does fire. The film advance feels very rough. Frame counter does work. Lens doesn't look good. Hopefully that'll clean up. We shall find out. Okay, well that's about it. That's going to keep me busy all week and a bit more.